Hello man cavers, I promised you in the last video, or one of my videos, I had another project coming up that you guys might be interested in. I want your opinion. Now the John Deere is finished, I need a new project to work on. Walk with me. When I was 27, so that would have been 20 years ago, I was at an auction one day with my dad on a Monday. We used to go to an auction every Monday. An old bric-a-brac auction where there was household stuff inside, and then there was a field, you know, a couple of 100 feet long, 70 feet wide, that had a load of outdoory bits, lawn mowers, tools, old rubbish. It was an old school auction, no bidding numbers. You just stuck your hand up and you paid cash, and virtually nothing met over a fiver. So I see this little miniature ride-on mower there, which I took a fancy to, and ended up buying this thing. Whoops, hit the tripod. I ended up buying this thing for £3. Knowing nothing about it, I'd never heard of the make, and all it had on it, it was rusty, and there was traces of orange paint on it, and there was a surviving sticker on the bonnet that said John Harleston Limited, Norwich. So this was the early days of the internet when we had dial-up modem. So coming back home, I cranked the old dial-up modem up, and Google and Dogpile or whatever the bloody search engine was, couldn't find nothing for John Harleston, Norwich. This machine then sat there in the shed, which is there. I'll turn the camera in a minute. It sat there for 10 years until I got a Facebook account in 2009. And I put a picture of this thing on some of the early Facebook groups. And a guy contacted me, a retired guy, and he said, I remember. He says, I used to work with John Harleston in Norwich. He said, the business closed in the early 80s. He says there was a company, an Italian company, sent an engine over and some plans and said, can we build these? He said, well, we fabricated and built one. He says, and he worked there for 6-7 years after. He said, and they never built any more. They just built the one. But then the company that commissioned it never had any more made, never went through with it. He said, so as far as I know, you've got the only one ever made. And one night it mysteriously disappeared. We went in the next day and it had gone. And one of the directors, owners, someone had took this damn mower away. And that would have been in the 1975 or 76, he thinks it was. He can't be sure. He said that sometime early to mid-70s. So with that, I dug this thing out of my dad's shed, played around, got it running, rode this thing around, I thought it works. And then I stripped it down to its component parts, sent it off to my friend the sandblaster, and got him to sandblaster and hot zinc prime it, which he did. I picked it up a couple of weeks later. And then somehow it got put in the shed again. And I'm looking at a bit of it now, but I never touched it since. Due to personal circumstances, losing interest, getting other projects. I stumbled across a part of this thing the other day. Now I can see from here, I can see the chassis and the bonnet. I cannot find, well, I can't see the wheels or the engine or the axle. Oh, there seem bits missing. I'm pretty sure, like 98.8% sure they're in this shed somewhere. So, oh yes, don't get shocked by the state of this shed. Please bear in mind, my parents bought this place in 1971, so there's an accumulation of 50 years of crap. Now then, sorry to bore you with a load of waffle. There is the chassis and there is the bonnet. Let me retrieve this and you'll see how small this thing is. I hope you can see, because there's really bad light in there and there's no light. I've got to somehow work my way through all this crap. What's this? Cloths. Bits of leather. Where did all this come from? Oh my God. Whoops. We've got a Motorcraft spark plug holder. Put he down there. Oh, we've got some crap about here, guys. Some more leather. A commercial telephone bell. Well, that's interesting. Some PVC. I think I had that from when I retrimmed a Reliance Scimitar door cars years ago. A rug. Ah, ah. We have found. This is the bonnet. Yeah. Let's see what parts it's got. Oh, oh, oh. Here we have an engine plate with a gearbox. With a gear selector. What we got in here? Anything to do with it? No. Jeremy Clarkson DVDs. Ah. Oh. Now, what's this? This is a good use of your food waste bin. It looked like I found the axle. Throttle control, very rusty now. A little belt. A chain. Oh, this is looking promising. I think that's a blade boss from memory. Whoa. Look at that. Ugh. Look at the engineering in that. Machined out of solid brass. Must weigh 1.5 kilos. Solid brass. So this has been turned out of brass. Now what else is in here? A variable pulley, I think, and then there's a linkage rod of some description. And the little hand cut aluminium plate that says minimum, maximum, that'll be a throttle control. So I think we've found all the little bits. So that looked like our box of little bits. There's our another belt. Say chassis thing. Ah, the handlebars. This is the cutter deck. Now I can also say when I got this thing, it had never turned a blade of grass. There was still untouched paint on the underside of the deck, so this had never cut grass. And here I think is the chassis and the steering. There we go. That, guys, is how big this thing is. That is the full length of it. Now I need to find wheels, which I'm assuming have been put. What we got here? We got a wheel horse steering wheel. That's nothing to do with it. Honestly, I ain't been in there for 10 years. Right, a box. What's in here? The hell is this? Injector pipes. A Bosch VE fuel injection pump. And a set of 4 new injectors. Do you know, I think they are off a Bedford CF with a 2.3 Opel diesel. There's a plate. Full set of injectors. And a full set of pipes. Oh, okay. What's the date mark? Oh, 8.9 kilos. 2011. There you go. That's been sitting there. 2011. I think I bought it for my old camper van and I've never fitted it. Is this part of it? That looked like part of it. Ah! Look! Ah, wheels! Let's hope there's 4. Two back ones. And I think we're in luck here. Here are the front ones. Look at them diddy little front wheels. And this looks like the brake. There you go. Look at that. Little brake mechanism all working. But no engine. Can I get out here? It's heavy. Why have I trapped myself in? As you can see, these have all been sandblasted and they've held up remarkably well. Consider how long these have been sitting. So there's our wheels. How the front ones, back ones are there. I have a sneaky feeling the engine is in the back of this shed. In them deep depths up the back there. Right, let's take this camera out of here. Oh, beg your pardon. Let's put some light on. Oh, we got light, look, all right. Oh, crikey. Whatever's in this shed. Stuff, just stuff. My parents' stuff, going back years. My little girl's scooter. Oh, my word. Granny's old bike in here, look. Oh, high stepper boy. Look at that pattern. A sack. Oh, I'm tripping over. What's this? Tubs of... Look at that. Harvest Moon Knotter's oil for balers and binders. Manufactured for, what's that? Gurrock Ropework Company Limited. Shellbacks. So if anyone want any bottles of Knotter's oil, we have half a dozen or so, look. Well, that ain't a high stepper, that's a trade bike, look. Look at that bad boy, that's a trade bike with a little wheel at the front. There's the big wheel, here's the little wheel. Ah, Christ. Where's Granny's old hopper there? A box of old bolts. Look at them bad boys. Aha, look what I spot. I spot a Model 4 Jap stationary engine, an old tin top Honda, another Honda, and a sandblasted engine. Can we get this thing out? What's in here? Pipe fit. Oh, which I can't lift. A short block, another old Jap engine. And, oh my God, the roof's fell in. There's even a grill up there for a Morris Marina, look. So if anyone want a Morris Marina grill, St. Boltol's Church, Grimston. Ah, this water pump here, my dad was a builder. He took this out of Grimston police station not long after he started work. In the 1960s, he started working for himself in 63. And this was actually removed from the jail cell in Grimston police station, where they had one cell. And that is solid lead. That is lead on an oak post. Bearing in mind that's 7 feet tall, that oak post. So what else have we got in this shed? We have a most humongous electric motor you've ever seen. And look at that for a pillar drill. Crush, she's a big one. She must stand 4 foot high, look. So, right, anyhow, we're getting off track. There's another box engine bits there. Look like Briggs and Stratton 10 horse for that air filter. Right, let's have a look. Here's this engine. I'm pretty sure, well, I know, this is the engine. Oh, and it still turns. This is the engine I had sandblasted for that machine. Ugh! There's a Winnie the Pooh box. Ugh, I hope you guys aren't finding this video too boring. It's certainly going to give you an insight into the life of Man Cave. Oh, trust me, my house is not like this inside. But there is some shite, including a light up Father Christmas. And all this junk. Ooh, there's my crowfoot spanner. Right, let's get this engine out. Ugh. Here we go. Ooh, nice old metal funnel. That needs to be saved. That's stored. Well, here's our engine. Is it free? Look at that. It turns. Carbs on it. There we have a Tecumseh engine. Let's zoom out. There we go. There we have a Tecumseh engine which was all sandblasted. So all this engine was sandblasted 10 or so years ago. Would you guys like to see this thing restored? If so, bleep bloop it in the comments below. But there it is. There's the chassis. There's an old style tractor seat went on it somewhere. Ah, that orange cover there. That hang on that nail there, that orange cover. That's got, oh, I think it was MAC, M-A-C, an aluminium plate on there. It says MAC. And that's the cover, what covers up this gearbox. So it goes over the gearbox. So if you'd like to see this thing restored, yeah, please let me know. And that can be our next project. Or, I mean, look at the size of them wheels. Not even as big as my hand. Look, my hand's bigger than the damn wheels. Yeah, there seems we've got all the bits. Or would you like me to see me do something else with, say, that Kohler engine, or get one of my old stationary engines out and start that? What would you like to see? Would you like to see this little John Harleston prototype lawnmower reassembled? If so, I don't know the original shade of orange. All I could remember vaguely was it was a similar shade of orange to RAC orange. So I can't really tell you any more than that. It was like similar to an RAC orange. I was thinking John Deere green with yellow wheels. Or is that a bit blasphemous? Should I do it a individual colour? Or should I do it in that John Deere green and do the nice yellow wheels? I think the wheels were originally white. Yep, they were. The wheels were originally white. And the body was originally orange. So what do we do with this thing? We can't exactly restore it to how it was, because it was one of one. There isn't any more. Unless some of you guys think, oh yes, I know that. Now the research I did do, the closest thing I could find to them was a small American ride-on tractor that they called a Mustang. But they had a steering wheel. They didn't have handlebars like that, because them handlebars just go on this spline, come up and out, and then you've got your two bars fork off, and you hold them like a bicycle and steer it. And that obviously steers your hubs. But I think this would be a nice, cheap to do, because it looked like I got all the bits. It would be a relatively cheap thing to do. If I remember rightly, there was two stainless steel, louver grills that were on the side of the bonnet to cover the engine. I've just remembered them. I can't seem to come across them, but I'm sure they're here somewhere. So shall we do this thing, or shall we do something else? Let me know what you'd like to see. Yeah, I'm pretty easy going, and I know you guys like watching me do this old crap. Sorry if this has been a very boring video, but it's been a while. I've done the John Deere and I've had a few days off, and I'm ready to crack back on with something. So yeah, let me know what you think. And also guys, I have a Facebook page now. If you go on Facebook and look up Norfolk Man Cave, I have my own little page on there, so you can contact me through Facebook, private message me, whatever. Yeah, it's just I'm trying to grow the channel a bit and get things a little bit more interesting on there. So let's see how we get on. Right, I'm going to go now, and I shall see you next time. So comment below what you'd like to see me do, whether you'd like to see me do this thing or do something with that old twin cylinder Kohler engine, or do something totally different. Right, bye bye for now. Look at that.